Hello, everyone. I'm joined today with Leon GunSteel. How are you doing, Leon?
Good, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad, not too bad. We just had a good Ace Combat talk, and I think Ace Combat might be coming up a little bit later in the conversation too. So
Probably.
stay tuned for
I,
that.
I never really played one and two or three I've always been more active with four, five, zero, six, and seven, and Infinity. But that one was a game service, and that's another thing I want to talk about.
Oh, we can definitely
Just
get into
yeah,
that.
okay.
Well, actually, you know what? Do you want to start with talking about online
Yeah,
gaming
well,
services? Because I don't have a
yeah,
question
sure.
prepared for that, so it could be interesting to
Uh,
explore.
yeah, that would be good. uh, like we are talking about before stream Ace Combat, that series pretty much one. I mean, it's not Flight Simulator, trust me. That ain't Flight Simulator at all. It's fun as all hell, but it's not Flight Simulator. So, but I mean, it does have like you could still do tactics in the game that actually match that with fighter pilots. Here it is. We must even go faster. This guy is hilarious. I'll send you a link to the video. There's a thing for five where it's a glitch where you get up and you drop and then you pull up again. It's called the altitude stall glitch, and your plane goes faster every time. It's pretty interesting. But no, the games as a service. There's a lot of games as a service. Ace Combat was one of them. Ace Combat Infinity for those those few of you that have ever had a chance to play it on the PS3. It was a service game. And even if you bought, like I did, I bought the story mode to the game. I paid for the story mode to the game and stuff. And then when the game, they took it off air, I can no longer play the story mode. So the thing I paid $25 for went down the drain because they took the servers off. It's things like that that are games as a service. I
When
mean, there's a bunch of others too.
Now it seems like every game comes out and it's got a battle pass on day one with tons and tons and tons of stuff that they're charging you money for after you buy the game.
Oh yeah. I I can't tell you how crazy that is. Like the one that really messed up the gaming industry, Fortnite. I mean, it was an enjoyable game, but it sent what was it? Sent Epic Games to being complete and total assholes for PC gamers. The the after effects of Fortnite's popularity pushed Epic to literally go for exclusives. So us that like played them on Steam couldn't play them, and I had to wait 2 years before I could play uh, Metro Exodus on my PC. So yeah, I mean that's another games as a service is that one right there. PUBG, Apex, which is a good game. I would put PUBG and Apex as being really good games. I pay for PUBG and it's still like a games as a service thing. What else is there recently? I have no idea. You could go.
Well, it seems like there was a faction within GamerGate, a relatively small faction that believed, and I was opposed to this faction. Guess I should disclose and make that clear. I opposed this faction, but they wanted to make GamerGate focus on issues in the games industry with these publishers doing things like loot boxes, microtransactions everywhere, things
It
like that.
depends. Like for me and my group, Nurgle's group, it depends on the type of publishing and stuff. If they are doing for like cosmetics and things like that, like what Fortnite is doing, fine, so be it. Let them charge out the ass for a stupid dance of someone, some fat guy doing the whatever the dance is called. I mean, if they want to do that, so be it. Let them. But I mean, it's when they actually affect the game itself. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a good example of that. That game, you literally have to put every region you're in, you have to put 3 to 4 hours in if you don't want to do the all of the background stuff, or if you didn't want to do if you wanted to do it without the the boost, you would have to spend at least 3 or 4 hours on each province you go to, each region you go to. And it would take you maybe just an hour if you didn't have it. It's things like that that kind of bug me out. But yeah, that's me, for instance. And there is one service thing that I actually approve of. Uh, Hearts of Iron, Paradox Hearts of Iron creators, they did a thing because Hearts of Iron DLCs all together now it's like almost $250, if not more. They have a service where once a month you could say, "Oh, $4.99 if you want to get all the DLC and play it just for 1 month." And that's what I did. I mean, it's services like that that I'm okay with, but when they actively make it impossible, and I'm not talking about like games you just downloaded so you could play, like Halo Infinite's multiplayer. I'm not talking about things like that where you could play it for free. I'm talking about things you paid $60-$70 for, that they force you to pay, that they want you to pay an extra $80. I mean, Battlefront 2 was, and trust me, I pre-ordered that game. Battlefront 2 was one of those eye openers for me.
Well, you were a part of GG. Did you think that GamerGate should have tried to take on some of these industry practices on the developer slash publisher side of things?
Personally, not Gamergate. I Gamergate already had a reputation at that time when this was hitting big time, and all the game industry would have had to done is say, see, it's a misogynist. It wouldn't have been good if you would have used Gamergate. It should have been something else, like someone for consumer rights activists or something like that. Not Gamergate was just for fighting the corrupt journalists out there. That's what it was designed for. The idiots like Zoe Quinn and whatever his name is, the one that yeah. It was things like that that originally got Gamergate, that I always thought Gamergate was for, not for politics or who you're voting for this election or anything like that. That was not what it was about. It was about making sure the industry wasn't going to be as corrupt, and let's like say, oh hey, Kotaku's reviewing let's say like the game I'm playing right now, Mass Effect Andromeda, and they were paid money just so they could give a good review, and they don't even put in there, we got money for I don't think they did this, but I'm just giving an example here where they said, they didn't say sponsored content, and they just said it was an actual review. That's been happening in the games industry, I think 5-6 years even before Gamergate started. Heck, I even think during the G4 Tech TV days it was happening. GameStop or GameSpot. Yeah, I could tell you when they were trying to push a bad game. What was it? That one, that Kanan
Kane and
Lynch?
Lynch?
Kanan Lynch, yes. That is the perfect example of journalism being at their worst, because they actually took it.
Yeah,
And
go ahead, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No. This is your chance to answer the questions for the book.
And
So
Kotaku, and this is one thing I always had a problem with companies like Kotaku, Polygon, all those companies. They literally, like when the leak came out for Fallout 4, which turned out to be true, because the scripts basically were that, when they got that leak and they reported it, they didn't even do a spoiler warning or anything like that. They just said, oh, hey, here's a leak to what we think is going to be Fallout 4. Here's a leak to what we think is going to be Starfield. And they knew about Starfield because of the leaks. And guess what? It was called Starfield. Like, I mean, it's things like that that irritate me. I'd rather be surprised by something like that, not have some idiot journalist leak it early. That was my problem with the journalism side of video games.
that they would leak information about the games prior to them coming out.
Oh, yeah. And they would.
Is that part of the role of a games journalist, though?
It's different from reporting about the leak and not putting the actual leak on the air, like showing the leak. You could talk about it, but it's when they show it that irritates me. And I think, and it bit them, and like Kotaku, for instance, it bit them in the ass hard with Bethesda. They refused to ever work with them again.
I
But I'm
think I
just saying, yeah.
I think I disagree, Leon. I think that if a games journalist has information about a game that's coming out and it's leaked information, I think that they have should be 1,000% fine to publish that. In fact, I think
Mhm,
that if they're concerned that access is going to get cut off by the
mhm.
publisher and they get punished for it, I think that that's like a serious problem because like
I
the
know.
publisher is like engaging in corruption against the
Mhm.
journalists.
I know it is. But I mean, though, when the leaks are illegally obtained, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking about, oh, it's what someone said and they broke an NDA. No, I'm talking about them actually getting an actual, and I would be understandably pissed too, working on something hard and then it gets leaked by some dipshit. I understand that. I know how that feels when you work on something hard, like for instance, a surprise party. You work on something hard and some idiot breaks a surprise. I know what that's like. It's things like that that you're, I don't know. It's just like we anymore at E3, or it's no longer there for us, but during E3, we were all prepared to see what, I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass again. We originally was, we weren't expecting that to happen type of thing. We're like, oh, hey, maybe this will come out or this will come out. And no, oh, hey, a leak come out and it's going to be this. And we're like, no, it's not. Oh, hey, Fallout 76 is always online. Oh, hey, Fallout 76 is only multiplayer. Like when I did the E3 streams, you could, I think I still have it up of, you could say us like, fuck you, Bethesda. Like we were all that way right now because, well, it took, but we knew it was going to happen, but we're like, maybe the leaks are wrong. Maybe the leaks are wrong. And nope, they were right.
Yeah, I disagreed with the people trying to bring that sort of thing into Gamergate too. The publisher, sorry, the anti-industry practices in the games themselves about like microtransactions, loot boxes, stuff like
And
that. I didn't want them to bring that in. I mean, I think it's a good conversation to have, and we should have that conversation. But I'm like,
mhm,
well, I don't want Gamergate to be perceived as attacking developers. Let's have that be a separate movement. That was my view because I thought, well, we have a lot of developers who support Gamergate, and we don't want to alienate them as
I know.
allies in the fight. That was my perspective.
Personally, for me, it's the same thing. I never wanted to target the developers. I like the developers. I wanted them to be on our good side. We didn't want to show the developers, oh, we don't like you guys. It's not that at all. I mean, the only one we really made fun of was when what's his name? The guy that was ahead of Gearbox was singing one of the
Oh,
most
Randy
embarrassing.
Pitchfork,
Randy
Pitchford.
Dickford, yeah, that's what we called him at the time.
I made a
Yeah, when
video, I actually wrote an open letter to Randy Pitchford, trying to
oh,
convince him to change his mind because he was anti Gamergate, and so
of course it was.
I wanted to I wrote an open letter to him and made it a video, public video. I don't think it exists anymore. The archive's gone. There's
Mhm.
no archive of it. Maybe someone's got it
Yeah.
floating around out there, but I wanted to change his mind on that because I thought maybe he'd be open to hearing us out. Maybe.
No, he wouldn't. It was like everyone there, like the more extreme of us, for instance, we weren't gonna listen to that kind of stuff. We weren't gonna listen to the voice. None of the extreme ones, and heck, I was an extreme one up until around the early 2015. I was an extreme nutcase, and it was like Nurgle and his group that calmed me down. I mean, it was literally me and Nurgle that wanted to get a actual stream together of us talking about other things besides Gamergate. So that's how Stream of Corruption got its start, was because we did not want to. Damn it, game. We didn't want to talk about. How do I put this? We didn't want to talk about just 1 second here. We wanted to talk about other things, but we changed the name from GamerGate Insanity to Stream of Corruption, so we wouldn't have GamerGate or be associated with GamerGate when we did things like this. So we evolved from GamerGate to other things, but we didn't use the GamerGate name for the other things.
Thank you for watching another Gamergate book video segment. For 30 days, starting on December 9th, I'm running a Kickstarter campaign for this project, so please back the campaign for the people of Gamergate on Kickstarter or at gamergatebook.com. This project investigating and documenting the history of Gamergate from a variety of perspectives requires your support, and I appreciate it. Thank you.